Hi everyone, I wanted to talk today about how running my own business has been extremely beneficial from the point of view of having multiple sclerosis. So, as I've covered when I was diagnosed and things like that, I've been fortunate enough to run a business for the last 15 years, plus 5 years before that I was running a different business. But over that sort of time, in the early years, I was initially I wasn't diagnosed, but when I did become diagnosed, effectively sort of 9 years ago, I was still healthy enough to pretty much do whatever I wanted to do within the business. Over that time, as my health started to deteriorate, and to the most part, it held up until probably the last sort of year and a half to 2 years. It became quite difficult to continue the roles that I've been doing, and now effectively I actually don't work in the business anymore at all. I'm around here and there for people to talk to me and discuss things that need to happen, because at the end of the day I am still the sole director of the company, and it's my livelihood, so I need the business to continue to offer some sort of financial support in the future. But the really big things about running my own business that have been extremely beneficial from an MS point of view is as I just started to deteriorate, and it would have been, I would say, probably 6 years ago or 5 years ago, when my legs started to go, there was no chance I could hold down a normal job. So I can't stand on my feet for an 8-hour day. I can't sit in a chair for an 8-hour day. I can't stare at a computer screen for 8 hours, and I can't type. So it began to really limit what I could and couldn't do from that sort of point of view. So the advantages of having my own business is it gave me the ability to select the roles that I wanted to do or could do on a daily basis. And it also meant that if I was having a really bad day and didn't feel well at all, that I could effectively do the very, very bare minimal and spend the rest of the time curled up on the lounge or in bed or whatever it may actually be, sort of coping with how the day was progressing forward. When you work for someone else, you don't have these privileges. So I was able to be so much more selective. I was able to do some jobs here and there, or I was able to gradually train other people into my roles while still having an income. And even to today, I no longer draw a wage or anything from the business, but I own a business that is still progressing forward. It's now fully staffed, and is basically helping to keep me alive. So that's really important from that sort of point of view. And I can totally understand how people who have been employees find this really, really challenging when they start to deteriorate with MS, because most people aren't able to hold down an ordinary job because they don't know when they're going to be able to work and not work. They don't know how much they can do and can't do, because it differs on every day. They also don't have the ability. Most jobs don't have the flexibility to sort of say, oh yeah, you can just come in and you can do an hour's work, and if that's all you feel up to today, then that's fine. Tomorrow might be good. You might come in and do 6 hours work, because that's how it works for most MS patients. But jobs aren't like that, and to be an employee means that I would be unemployed. It means that I would be on the dole, or basically I wouldn't be on the dole. I would be on the medical, I'm not going to even think of the disability pension. Sorry, that's what I was trying to think of. I'd be on the disability pension, because that's all I can do. I can't do any more than that. So yeah, I've been extremely lucky and extremely fortunate. I put a lot of work in the early years when I was healthy enough to do the work that I needed to do to set me up going forward into the future. Many years ago, when I was first diagnosed, I had an accountant say to me, "So what are you going to do now? Are you going to sell the business?" And I said, "No, because the business is my livelihood. The business is what's going to set me up for life. If I give it up now and curl up in a ball, then I may as well just give up living. Whereas if I go hard at the business and I'm able to get the business to a level that I can get it to, then it can support me when I'm unable to do the work." And that's what I've worked really hard to achieve. And that's been a real privilege of running my own business. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. So yeah, I would know that it would be very difficult, as I said, for a lot of people who are just straight employees. Whereas, yeah, and if I was a sole operator, it wouldn't be the same either. If I was a sole operator, it'd be the same as being an employee. So yeah, as I said, I'm very fortunate. So that just sort of, I am eternally grateful. I'm stuttering now, saying weird and wonderful things, but anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an idea about the benefits for me about running my own business and how it has been crucial to my livelihood and my future moving forward as I progress to have this particular treatment that I'm about to have, where potentially I'm going to be totally knocked out for 6 months to 2 years. Again, it's something that I know that there's going to be, I have a roof over my head, I don't have to pay rent, I can continue to live, and that's really important. So and yeah, just very grateful and very honoured to have had the privilege to do what I've done. Okay, thanks guys, I'll see you soon.